Tonight on Paige's Kitchen, we're going to do something that's really fun. We're going to make a pizza dip. This is something that we'll put all the ingredients together and then we're going to bake it, and then you can serve it with whatever you like. If you would like to serve it with toasted garlic baguette slices, you could do that. You could serve it with the little mini peppers, raw peppers. You could use pita chips, celery sticks, anything that you want to use with this dip you can use. So here's what the ingredients will be. We'll have a couple red pepper flakes. I've got some pizza seasonings here that are basically somewhat like Italian seasonings, but they're made for pizza. We've got some fresh mozzarella cheese that I grated. We've got pepperoni, black olives, pizza sauce, and this is Parmesan cheese that's been grated, cream cheese, and sour cream. Now this is a recipe that I want you to make your own. If you like crispy bacon on the top, then add bacon, or if you wanted ham, or anything that you like, go ahead and add this. Make it like your regular pizza would make. I will say if you're going to add mushrooms, you might want to saute those lightly, or the onions, but make this your own, okay? Just use this as a basic thing to follow. So we're going ahead and start this cream cheese. This is at room temperature so that it makes it easy to work with. Give this a little stir here. And then we're going to add the sour cream to it. We'll be adding half of the cheese, the spices, to this mixture. This is a fun dip, I think, to have for parties. You can make, another good thing about this is you can make this at least 2 or 3 days ahead of time. Just don't bake it. And that way, when the party starts, you can just pop it right into the oven. It'll be baking at 375 for about 25 minutes until all the cheese is nice and bubbly. So let's go ahead and add our seasonings in. This has a lot of flavor. And again, make this your own. I think that's the fun thing about some recipes is unless I'm baking, most recipes I go ahead and will alter them somewhat. Baking is the only thing I don't do that on, because that can make a disaster if you do that sometimes. Go ahead and use these gloves. Put the cheese in. Again, we'll be using about half the cheese for this mixture. So go ahead and just use your hand. You don't have to measure it. This is about approximately 2 cups in this that I grated. Add that. Cheese. And don't look for this to be super smooth. It's not going to be, because it's got all this cheese in there. So if it looks a little lumpy, that's the way it's supposed to be. This is forming the base of the dip. You know someone who likes pizza, but they don't want to eat the bread with the pizza? This is a great recipe for them. Sometimes people are trying to stay keto, especially this time of the year after the holidays. So we're gonna put this in the bottom. This is a 9-inch pie pan. You'll notice that this is a deep dish pie pan. I did that because I have a tendency sometimes to add maybe too much cheese and things will spill over, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just trying to be on the safe side, especially for the oven. Nobody wants something to cook over. So we'll put this on the bottom. Just kind of mash it around. I put a little bit of Pam in this and sprayed it so that it won't stick. You know how it is if you've baked anything with cheese on it. Sometimes if it sticks, it could be days trying to wash it off. I have some fresh basil that we'll be adding once it comes out of the oven. So I'm going to smooth this around. And then I'm going to add the pizza sauce on the top. Stir this around real easy. This is a nice colorful dish. And I'm going to be adding the rest of the cheese and the olives. You don't have to add olives, but we eat a lot of olives in our house. We love them. I never met an olive I didn't like. There's that. Go ahead and add the rest of the cheese. And this doesn't have to bake very long when you think about it. 20, 25 minutes, you just basically are heating everything and you just want the cheese. Once it comes out though, it is very hot. So you're going to need to let it cool for a second. And so we'll put the pepperoni on there. If you can find, they make this pepperoni in the little tiny slices. They're called mini pepperoni. If you can find that, those are cute to use because they're smaller, but these are the ones I had. So I always look in the refrigerator and see what ingredients we have, and that's always what I go to first. This is definitely a no waste household here. So let me get this finished. I'm gonna add some more of this Parmesan cheese on top and add some olives. So I'm just kind of layering this. Then I'll put a couple more pepperoni on here. This is basically just decorative at this point. And I like to add my red pepper flakes on the top instead of right in the sauce. That way I know exactly how many I have on here. Be careful when you take this lid off. I've done that before and dumped an entire jar. So shake these on, put the olives on, and then we're going to put this in the oven. Okay, I think this is ready to go. All right, see you in 25 minutes. Okay, this is done. It's really pretty and it is bubbling hot. You can see all the little bubbles around there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this fresh basil on the top, but trust me, let this cool for at least 5 minutes, if not a little longer. You don't want any of your guests to be burned. I think you're gonna love this recipe. Again, it's super easy to make. You can see how quick it was. You don't have a lot of dishes and it's really tasty. I know you can do this.